Hello everyone, I'm back again with another build concept, this time using Shadow Rend without using Cascade. More committing to the hidden strength node in Shadow Rend to kind of invest in the one big hit instead of using Rend as a spamming skill to proc Cascade a bunch. It's very fun. It's a very different playstyle. It's a nice way to shake it up. It's definitely not as strong, definitely not as durable, but it is a nice variety in terms of playstyle. We are having some issues with durability, as you can see, um, but the damage is good when I execute it properly, which is not super simple because it does rely on the flow in the Bladedancer tree. So you execute your abilities in a sort of combo, and then your final ability has a bunch of extra damage. Um, but I'm having quite a bit of fun. It's very fun, and it is good. It's definitely not bad. It's just we're lacking some durability, and I'm not exactly sure how to fix it. My idea right now is the Ravenous Void Gloves, um, but I've only used those like once, so I don't actually know if that's a good idea. But that's what I'm working on right now. Um, but yeah, as you can see, damage is quite good. Damage is quite good. Um, we get some very nice big satisfying numbers, which I do find enjoyable. Let's do the boss real quick. The more mobile bosses have been quite bothersome sometimes. So hopefully this, like as you can see there, he just kind of dodged my big Rend hits because I set it up improperly, and there as well. Um, and it does cost quite a bit of mana as well, of course, because we are using the coated blades in the rogue passive. Um, but mana hasn't been too big of an issue because we're not using all that mana too often, and then we have what's it called? Puncture to help us regenerate mana with the sapping strikes as well. But yeah, the damage is good. Damage is pretty good, I would say. It could be better, of course, but and it does take a little bit more focus because you do have to again you do have to set up your flow, and then you do have to shift um, before your rend. Otherwise, you miss out on a lot of multipliers. So basically, what we're doing is, again, we're using this flow node here. We're using 3 unique skills before we use our Shadow Rend, and we get 100% more damage on the Shadow Rend there. Also, a part of that, we're using Shift here to get more damage on our next damaging ability after we shift, and then that ability is always a crit as well. Um, so the basic loop of what I'm doing is I'm using Evade, I'm using Puncture, and I'm using Shift. And then I'm using the Shadow Rend for the big hit. And that Shadow Rend leaves a shadow, we evade, we puncture, we shift, we have 6 shadows, and then we rend for the big hit. Evade, puncture, shift, we have 6 shadows, we evade for the big hit. It's very interesting, very different from the other Shadow Rend into Cascade just spamming build. It's much more methodical, which is a nice change of pace. So this is how we currently have it set up. Area here, Dusk Shrouds and damage from Dusk Shrouds, more damage, more damage. Hidden Strength, of course. We have a maximum of 6 shadows because we're using the Doppelganger set to help generate shadows as well. So this set is quite valuable for doing so. Otherwise, we would have a lot of trouble generating shadows to get the maximum bonus from this hidden strength. And then we're down here for the physical penetration if we have 5 negative ailments, which is good as well. We talked about shift. We also gain move speed and a little bit of mana, of course, and it leaves the shadow. And then the more damage and the guaranteed crit, of course. We spec smoke bomb just for the cleanse here in the silver shrouds here, and the smoke blades buff, of course, in boss fights. Puncture again, mostly just to have another skill for flow, but we do get some nice mana on hit, which is good. And then applying some armor shred and some physical resistance shred as well. Just to it also helps apply ailments for this as well. And then armor blades set up very similarly to our Rend Cascade build, to just help us regenerate mana via Umbral Remnant, leaving blades on the ground, and then Nightmare Dash, giving us mana back when we shift. So that's pretty much the build. I'll go to the target dummies, because the large numbers you hit are quite satisfying. On this build, it is fun. I was initially gonna do this on a marksman on a bow Rend build. Yeah, that is 6 million damage in one hit is very satisfying. There's 8 there. It's just fun. It's just fun seeing the big numbers. I set it up improperly that time. It's just fun. But yeah, I was initially gonna do bow Rend with a similar setup with the coated blades passive here, and then the flow, because flow used to be any skill, right? I'm pretty sure. But it was changed where the last skill has to be a melee or throwing skill now, and it can't be a bow skill. So that doesn't work. That's one case against bow. And then but bow does have the mana, the ethereal areas and the mana warp, which would have been real nice. However, the obvious synergy, and one of the only synergies I could see on marksman, is Dark Quiver, right? Of course. But this node here, Umbral Resolution, where you're consuming shadows to deal more damage with your black arrows. Mike answered my question in Discord and said that the hidden strength node and that the hidden strength node and the Umbral Resolution node would not work together. And one of them only one of them would activate. So that wasn't great. And then everything else on the marksman just didn't really seem to synergize super well with going hidden strength Shadow Rend. So I decided to play the melee variant instead. Also, the hidden strength doesn't get anything, like the melee gets extra area, the bow does not get extra area or anything. And the bow attack isn't very big. It's not very wide. So the clear was having issues as well when I was trying to start out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Gear, I went, of course, with the Doppelganger set. The Whetstone Gavel I decided to try out, mostly because with the guaranteed crit here, I mean, we didn't need to use Trader's Tongue, so we could use an Exalted here instead, Exalted Dagger instead, and then I also just never used Whetstone Gavel on the build before, and it seemed like this would be a good opportunity to do so, and so I decided to take it. Falcon Fist is mostly here for the flat melee damage. Again, I think we want Ravenous Void for the defense. I'm not sure what other unique gloves would be better, aside from the Uber gloves, of course, but I think Ravenous Void would be good. I'm using Army of Skin here instead of Tabby, for the more melee damage, and because the bow part of Tabby doesn't hit the big numbers, right? Like that was a 2 million hit, and the bow was way less, right? 5 million hit, and the bow hit, I couldn't really see what the bow hit was, but it was not big, right? Like that one was 4 million because it took the crit. it took the crit from the shift, but you don't get both. Both of the things don't crit, right? Right. Only one of them crits, as far as I can see, if I'm seeing that correctly. I messed that up again. Right, so we get the big hit from the melee, and then the bow doesn't really do anything. So you don't get 2 hits with Tabby. Yeah, like Tabby's not bad still, right? You do get the increased shadow damage. You do get the dot protection. It's not bad, but I think Army of Skin is just better for the giant more multiplier, and also the Army of Skin has more move speed, which is nice. Especially on this build where we really want cooldown reduction for shift so we can do our big hit more often. So that's why we're not using Tabby. Other than that, Omnis is nice for 2 skills, plus 2 skills. I hit the maximum value corruption, so it basically solved resistances as well, which was very nice. Using this here just for bonus health, because again I was trying to solve defense. Siphon of Anguish, of course, to apply Doom to make them take more melee damage, and then Brewmaster Buckle for defense. Idols are not super optimized, but we just have some health and some shadow damage idols, and it's definitely not optimized, but it's just some bonus defense for right now. That's pretty much the build concept, I think. I am enjoying it. It is fun. Again, we were doing 500 corruption there. It's definitely not bad, but it's definitely nowhere near as strong as Rend Cascade is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Appreciate you all watching. I will be streaming today, probably soon after I post this video, I would think. If anyone wants to stop by and say hi, I would appreciate it. But I appreciate you for watching as well. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good one, a good day, night, evening, morning, whatever time zone you have to fall within. And I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.